Good afternoon to our research advisor, Ms. Sheila Vidalio. Today we will be presenting our research titled The Impact of Using in Shopping Apps as an Alternative on Buying Products. Now we'd like to introduce ourselves. I'm Joshua S. Ramos, the leader of the group.
I am Braga Diana Grace B.
I am Carlota Angel Ginto.
I am Kaparinyo Mohammed.
And we are Group 4. For the introduction of the study and the background of the study, here's Miss Diane Braga.
Thank you, Joshua Ramos. Introduction. Back then, we all used to go to the physical store where all the products we want to purchase can be seen, touch, and hold using our eyes and hands, and therefore decide whether we would like to buy a product based on our examination. However, due to the pandemic and technological advances, people's way of buying items has changed. Using online shopping apps, scrolling and making a decision without physical engagement, we can now buy products via online and just wait for a couple of days for it to be delivered. There are different types of online shopping applications that most people use to buy products, such as Lazada, Shopee, Foodpanda, and etc. And now for the background of the study, we fronted to conduct this research for us to evaluate the significant impact of using online shopping apps as an alternative on buying products. Traditional shopping has changed and evolved. In this new era, we now use online shopping apps to purchase products. And because of this significant change, consumers and business owners have now participated in this platform. We, the researchers, want to understand what online shopping does to the consumers today and make a research paper regarding this subject and provide detailed information about it. And next is Muhammad Caparino for the objectives of the study.
Thank you for presenting the background of the study. I am Kaparinyo Mohammed, and now let's proceed to the objectives of the study. Specifically, this study aims to know what are the different types of online shopping apps that are used by the consumers. And then, the next objective is to identify the consumer's perception in using the alternative way of buying products. And lastly, to ascertain the impact of using online shopping apps as an alternative on buying products. And now, we'll proceed to the statement of the problem. Due to, to our survey result, we have now addressed and found answer to these following questions. What are the different types of online shopping apps? What is the perception of the consumers towards the use of online shopping apps as an alternative way of buying products? What is the impact of using online shopping apps as an alternative on buying products? And now, the significance of the study will be presented by Ms. Angel Ginto.
Thank you. I will be discussing the significance of the study and the scope and the limitation of the study. Significance of the study. Our study may help and can be useful to the sellers, consumers, and the future researchers. This may help sellers to gain additional knowledge regarding the different point of views, opinions, observations of the consumers concerning the effects or impacts of the online shopping applications that the sellers can use to develop their business. Consumers can also attain benefits from this study because it provides data that may help them determine the pros and cons of using different online shopping applications. Lastly, the study may help future researchers through the details, statistics, and intelligence it provides. They can acquire different informations that their study might need. For the scope and the limitation of the study, our study includes information regarding online shopping applications its impact when used as an alternative way of buying product, its different type, and the consumer's awareness or knowledge about it. The consumers whom we pick by simple random sampling are the selected respondents of our study, where we aim to determine the impact of online shopping applications to them. And for the conceptual framework, here's Joshua S. Ramos.
Conceptual framework. You can see there's our conceptual framework of our research. First, what is conceptual framework and what does it do? A conceptual framework is an analytical tool with several variations and contexts. It can be applied in different categories of work where an overall picture is needed. It is used to make conceptual distinctions and organize ideas. In this conceptual framework, online shopping apps is the predictable variable, and the criterion variable is the consumer. And now we'll proceed to methodology, and I'll be discussing research design. Research design refers to the overall strategy that you choose to integrate the different components of the study in a coherent and logical way, thereby ensuring you will effectively address the research problem. Um, the type of research design used in this study is survey research design using survey questionnaires given to respondents, evidences such as individuals' knowledge, opinions, attitudes, and values on various issues and concerns was obtained. Also, in a survey research, variables are not controlled or manipulated, and no intervention is applied. Say, for example, a researcher wants to conduct a survey on the preference of individuals towards mass testing. What she does is to identify the participants and give them the questionnaires that they will answer. Again, in survey research, there is no intervention because the researcher would only wait for the respondents to give out their answers. Also, in survey research, the responsibilities of researchers focus on recording and tallying the responses and analyzing and interpreting the tallied data. And from these particular data, come up with um, conclusions and recommendations. Now, to sources of data, we use simple random sampling techniques to select respondents for our study, and with a minimum of 30 participants who can answer the question in our study at the National College of Science and Technology from 2021 to 2022. 30 respondents who participated in our survey were collected from all consumers who used the online shopping application. And now, sampling technique will be explained by Miss Dayan Braga.
Thank you. Next is sampling technique. This study employed a simple random sampling technique, and this technique ensures that each of the member of the population has an equal probability of being chosen as a sample member. Next is Angel Ginto for the research instrument.
Again, thank you. For the research instrument, in order for us to collect data and to provide answers to research questions, we made a survey questionnaire that was then given to respondents. The research-made questionnaire consisted of 4 parts. In part 1, there's the name, gender, and the section that is however optional. In part 2, the questions included are purposely to determine the most frequently used website or application regarding purchases of products using online shopping apps as an alternative way of buying products. In Part 3, we address identifying the perception of the consumers towards the use of online shopping. In Part 4, we then now use question ascertaining the impact of using online shopping apps as an alternative on buying products in contrast with traditional shopping. And both Part 3 and Part 4 use 5-point Likert scales. And for the reliability test is the degree to which a test or tool produces similar results under consistent conditions, or in other words, the precision of a test. A good reliability of a test or tool is important because if the people who interpreted the test cannot agree on interpretation, the test result will be of little use. We, the researchers, selected 15 consumers to measure how far the reliability of the instrument before conducting the survey to actual respondents. And for the data gathering procedure, here's Muhammad Caparino.
Now, we will talk about the data gathering procedure. First, before we conducted a survey, our research instructor approved our survey questionnaires, which then, in a second step, we distributed survey questionnaires to respondents. In third step, we retrieved survey questionnaires. Fourth, we collected the data from the response of respondents and subjected it to statistical analysis. Fifth, the data that was gathered was analyzed and interpreted. Lastly, using data, the conclusion was drawn and recommendation was formulated based on the study.
And now, for statistical treatment of data, here I am, Joshua Ramos. The researchers will use the percentage method or the formula of percentage to determine the weight and count of data in this investigation. The researcher will be given a percentage in order to confirm the study's outcome depending on the responses of the respondents. And the formula for the rating scale is percentage is equal to frequency over the number of respondents times 100. And now, Diane will explain and provide its meaning of weighted mean.
Next is the weighted mean. Weighted mean involves multiplying each data point set by a value which is determined by doing the final survey questionnaire. The weighted mean is used to know the perception of consumers towards the use of online shopping apps as an alternative on buying products. In Table 2, in results and discussion, the symbol for the weighted mean is M is for the summation, W is for the weights, and X is for the value. And the formula of the weighted mean is the value equals summation, the weights xi over weights and I. The interpretation for the weighted mean is here in the table. The first column is the scale numbers, and the next column is the interpretation. Scale 1 to 1.80 is strongly disagree, 1.81 to 2.6 is disagree, 2.61 to 3.40 is neutral, 3.41 to 4.20 is agree, and lastly, 4.21 to 5 is strongly agree.
And that's the end of group 4 presentation, and really appreciate you listening and having patience. Thank you.